There was that other big story in America overnight, was there not?
Tonight with something we have never seen before. The first former president in U.S. history to be arraigned on federal criminal charges.
Tonight from Florida, the unprecedented arrest and arraignment of a former president on federal charges.
First hearing in the United States of America versus Donald John
Well,
Trump. Joining
me now from Los Angeles is KTLA and Access Hollywood's legal analyst, Alison Triessl. Firstly, Alison, can you explain for us, first of all, why he was back in court yesterday?
Absolutely. And yesterday was a big one. So this is the first time in United States history that a president, either present president or former president, has been a defendant in a federal courthouse. Donald Trump was arraigned yesterday on 37 felony counts that relate to his retention of classified documents that he did not return to the National Archives when he left office. And as a result, he is looking at 31 counts that carry 10-year maximums. He's looking at obstruction of justice counts that can carry up to 20 years in prison. And he sat and had to listen to those charges being read against him. His attorney entered a not guilty plea for him. This was after he was booked, which means he was arrested, he was processed, and even though his mugshot wasn't taken, because he is one of the most recognizable figures in the world, he did have to give his fingerprints, and the judge admonished him against any communication with witnesses and with any communication about this case with his co-defendant, Walt Nauta.
It's just astonishing. He says he's not guilty. He says it's all a witch hunt. Interestingly, though, there weren't as many protesters from both sides, supporters and protesters. They were expecting thousands, and only a few hundred turned up. But yeah, he's in total denial, isn't he?
He really is. And here's the thing. I mean, in this country is polarized over Donald Trump. The people that love Donald Trump really don't care what the charges are. And then there are those on the other side that say, wait a minute, anybody who has done what he has done, according to this indictment, would go to jail. Why would Donald Trump be any different? And Lorraine, just to understand what they're accusing him of, they're saying, you held on to classified records. We asked you to return them. And although you attack Joe Biden and you say, well, Mike Pence also had those records, they voluntarily handed them over to the National Registry. But for you, it took not only a grand jury subpoena, but a raid at your Mar-a-Lago estate where you kept these documents, these top secret government documents in bathrooms, in storage rooms. They were thrown all over the place. And you basically told your attorneys, well, do we have to really share them? What if we just get rid of them?
It's absolutely bizarre why he would want them, and in his bathroom of all things. But you know what? He's still, as we said, he's in another reality, I think. He delivered a really defiant speech from his golf club in New Jersey last night. Here's a little bit of what he had to say.
Today we witnessed the most evil and heinous abuse of power in the history of our country. Very sad thing to watch. A corrupt sitting president had his top political opponent arrested on fake and fabricated charges of which he and numerous other presidents would be guilty.
He just has his own idea of what is actually reality. Now, look, there's a lot of what-ifs here, isn't there? But if he's found guilty, he could be looking at jail time. He could still stand as president. He could theoretically win, and then even more theoretically, pardon himself. I mean, we're in the realms of craziness, aren't we?
We are in Twilight Zone, but the thing is, people who love Trump love him. And he is surrounded by people who, no matter what he says, no matter how outrageous his comments are, they are totally loyal to him. And remember, These are only charges that he's been accused of. He has an absolute right to plead not guilty and to present a thorough defense, which I have no doubt he will. He is saying things like, look, I could have declassified them. These charges, as you read the indictment, even if only half of them are true, are really damning. There is a lot of information here, including testimony that comes from his own lawyers that talks about his willingness to conceal and obstruct justice and his unwillingness to return these documents. We don't know why. Maybe he wanted them as trophies. Maybe there's something more sinister. We don't know why, but this trial is going to be about his unwillingness, despite being repeatedly warned, to return highly classified United States government documentation that didn't belong to him.
Astonishing. Alison, thank you so much for your expert insight. I'm sure we will be talking to you again in the weeks and months to come. Thank you very much indeed for now.